Hi, this is Gina Prince, and I'm doing another video. It has been a while, but I know I must obey the Lord, both in finishing my book and doing encouraging videos, just informational videos. I shouldn't say encouraging because it's not my aim to just encourage someone. It is to obey the Lord. It is to share a message. And so today I have something to share that I believe is for the times that we're in right now. I'm really excited when I read the scriptures that the sons of Issachar were ones who knew the times and the seasons and what Israel ought to do, back in the day. And I believe we have seasoned leaders like that. I really glean from a lot of my leaders that I've learned from, like John Paul Jackson and Terry Bennett. Those are some of my spiritual fathers. And so today I just want to share with you out of Luke 22, because a month ago the Lord was speaking to me some encouragement. And even though we can identify with all the disciples as far as maybe we're like Peter, maybe we think that we'll be really brave, but then we'll turn on the Lord in the end, or be a doubting Thomas, or anything. I mean, if anything, we want to be like John and just nestle into the Lord and worship and love on him. And anyway, the setting in Luke 22 had to do with the disciples arguing about who was greater, and leading up into the Last Supper, leading up to Jesus predicting Peter's denial, and then, all the way to the Garden of Gethsemane. But in Luke 22:28, this is what the Lord had me read the other day. It says, "But you are those who have continued with me in my trials." And this is just right after they were all talking amongst themselves, saying who was greater and everything. And Jesus was talking about being a servant, that's the greater thing to be. But I really want to emphasize when he said, "But you are those who have continued with me in my trials." I feel like the Lord wants to say that to you. I mean, we're in times that even, those in the great cloud of witnesses looked into this time in this day. The glory of the Lord is about to outpour so strong, like has never been nor will ever be again. That's Isaiah 60. It's Luke 4:18. And so I really want to encourage you to, I believe God is saying, no matter what you're going through, no matter what level of fear that you have, maybe you're disobedient, you're not following through like me right now. I'm following through, I'm speaking, I'm sharing with what he told me to give to you. And I especially love in Luke 22:28 and then verse 29. And so he is encouraging him and saying, "You're among those that have been faithful. You've hung in there with me." I mean, think about it. They were with Jesus when he did the signs and wonders and miracles. They were in shock. They were in awe. They saw his love, his compassion. They saw people get set free. They saw people that had demons, they were cast out. Then they saw the attack that he got for doing good, for loving people, for showing forgiveness. And there they were, faithful. And then they were thinking he was going to set up the kingdom like the kings, go take up a throne or something. And so they were confused. And now it's coming down to the end. And I don't think all of them really knew what was about to transpire. But he now is giving like a living will. And I love this. He says in verse 29, "And I bestow upon you a kingdom, just as my Father bestowed upon me, that you may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom and sit on the thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel." Oh my gosh, come on. If they really got that, which I'm sure they probably did, basically he is giving them a living will. He's telling them what they're about to inherit, but he's alive still. But they didn't probably really know he's about to, be betrayed, even by them, be tortured, and then crucified. But the fact that when he was saying, "You're going to be ruling and reigning with me in my kingdom over the 12 tribes of Israel," do you realize? Flashback into all the times the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the religious people, even the Romans and stuff, they tried to kill him. They called him a devil. They tried to push him off a cliff. They were evil to him. I mean, I just think this is so awesome. If they, as they probably did, had emotions going back and forth, like, what's going on? Is he really going to die? And to think that they were arguing at the beginning of this chapter, who was greater among them, and he was giving them the greatest, most honorable position. But the main thing that I want to encourage you with is that he said, but you are those who have continued with me in my trials. So right now, no matter what you're going through, no matter how many times you've fallen, you know, the scriptures say that a righteous man falls 7 times, but he gets back up again. Stay strong, follow through. Believe me, I've asked God, oh yeah, so many times, let's go, I'm done here, I hate this world. And I'm sorry, I'm just being honest, I am. It's not like I totally thought it was gonna be, but we gotta finish. And so you are those that are continuing with the Lord in his trials, in these times, facing persecution, standing up here in America in the face of us trying to recover our nation and to carry on for future generations, unless the Lord's coming next week, next year, who knows? But we need to be intentional, we need to follow through, and I just want to encourage you right now that the Lord would say that, something that intimate to you, but you are one that is continuing with me in my trials. So please be encouraged today, and please carry on. I'm going to be doing more videos because I'm going to obey the Lord. You obey the Lord, whatever he's given you to do, whether it's passing out sandwiches, giving someone a hug, praying for someone, going early at church to pray, or doing a video here, whatever it is, follow through and know that the Lord is specifically individualizing you right now and saying, but you have had great, you're enduring right now, and I see it. That's what God's saying to you. So carry on and finish, follow through, because we're just very close to ruling and reigning with him. And those who overcome will rule and reign with him in the millennium. God bless you.